No, I'm not saying it's too late. You've stopped. Now you are, now you've signed a new covenant to be in the choir.
Got it.
Tell Emmy to pick us up. You're not texting.
Let's go with that. So it is not easy to get down.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay, I just watched Steve and he went.
Well, just you and me, and, well, tell her for you, you take one home. Is Jordan?
Yeah.
Oh, she is. Then she, oh, there she is. So she,
Yeah, we eat before. We usually do like a lunch date on Fridays. It's kind of our ritual. Elaine, look, I got your book today. I got your book today.
a gift from Bob.
For Mildred Marcus. But I picked it up and I was like, well, that's nice.
So it's the three of us, four of us.
It's the four of us, yeah. Small but mighty.
So sheer more than 4 letters in words.
It's not in here, isn't it?
It is.
It's always not my name. It's not so much. And then it's colder than
The composite materials.
what's burning?
Did somebody light the candles in the morning?
No, I lit the candle that lights the other candles.
Okay, that's what.
It's the smell, yeah. That was me. I did it.
It's in your own. How's everybody?
Almost okay.
Almost okay?
We don't think it's very cute.
How are you? Good, thank you. I always feel it's
I felt it weird when it worked perfectly. So it's nice.
Moses had to ask God.
holy drink. I don't know that story. You know, we're supposed to. It's just like strange.
Do you? There's a story, dude.
There has to be.
That's all right. Mindy texted Emmy and said to me,
Because it was beautiful.
well, you deserve it.
I'm saying she was, she did.
Or your pocket.
She came here. You know, since 72, her husband's military.
Yeah, yeah.
And she's got.
Is he retired?
Just about to retire. So she's got.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
We begin today on page 10 with Hine Matov, how good and how pleasant it is that brothers and sisters dwell together.
Na 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 na, na 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 na, na 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 na, na 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 na, na
Oh, how good it is for us to be together. Oh, how good it is to be as one, to be as one. Oh, how good it is for us to be together. Oh, how good it is to be as one, to be as one. Na 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 na, na 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 na, na 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 na.
We turn to page 2 and welcome Ellen and Rebecca Krasny to light Shabbos candles. Help me to perfect my ways of loving and caring. Inspire me to make myself whole so that I may honor your name and create a world of justice and peace. Please rise.
Amen. May the glow of these candles bring peace to the world, and the spirit of Shekinah surround us. May the blessings of our days fill our hearts with love, and Shabbat Shalom be here. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu le'chadlik shel Shabbat. Le'chadlik shel Shabbat.
Please be seated. We turn to page 6 and read responsively at the bottom of the page. May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship.
May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture.
May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity.
May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet.
May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness.
May the synagogue be, for all who enter, the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life.
Help me to withdraw for a while from the flight of time, contain the retreat of the hours and the days from the grasp of frantic life. We turn to page 8. I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics, no service, but I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other, to work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy, to illumine all of us, and to bring the vision of life. On Shabbat, we remember that justice is our duty and a better world is our goal. So we embrace Shabbat, day of rest, day of wonder, day of peace. We turn to page 20 for Lahadodi. We'll sing verses 1, 2, and 5 and rise for verse 9. Turn to page 22 for Mizmor Shir.
Mizmor Shir.
We're on page 24. Peace to you, O ministering angels, messengers of Most High, Majesty of majesties, Holy One of blessing. Enter in peace, O messengers of peace, angels of the Most High, Majesty of majesties, Holy One of blessing. Bless me with peace, O messengers of peace, angels of the Most High, Majesty of majesties, Holy One of blessing. Depart in peace, O messengers of peace, angels of the Most High, Majesty of majesties, Holy One of blessing. And so we understand that ordinary people are messengers of the Most High. They go about their task in holy anonymity, often even unknown to themselves. Yet if they had not been there, if they had not said what they had said or what they did, it would not be the way it is now. We would not be the way we are now. Never forget that you, too, yourself may be a messenger, perhaps even one whose errands extend over several lifetimes. We turn to page 27. Entrances to holiness are everywhere. The possibilities of ascent are all the time, even at unlikely times and through unlikely places. There is no place on earth without the presence. We turn to page 28 and rise for the call to prayer. You were as near as the very air we breathe, yet farther than the farthermost star. We yearn to reach you. We seek the light and warmth of your presence. Though we say you are near, we are lonely and alone. Oh, let our desire be so strong that it will tear the veil that keeps you from our sight. Let your light release our darkness and reveal the glory and joy of your presence. What does it mean to be called to worship? All serious activities require preparation. The prayers and blessings that precede the Barhu are warm-ups for the individual. Now communal prayer begins. The leader asks, "Are you ready to pray?" And we respond, "Let us pray." We turn to page 34 for the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Please be seated.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, וחיו הדברים האלה, אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt, we were delivered. At Sinai, we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again, we overcame oppressive forces. Together, through our failings to many and faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages the vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. We turn to the following page for Mi Hamoha.
Adonai.
Thus it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. Sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come, a song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace. We turn to page 46 and rise for the Amidah. Please be seated. Holiness occurs when power and goodness coexist in perfect harmony. How shall we sanctify God's name? By being holy ourselves. How do we accomplish this? Let our prayers bring us to sacred deeds, to actions that promote justice, harmony, and peace. We continue with a moment of silence, and we continue either through the remaining text on the page, or with the intentions of your own heart. We continue on page 60 with Shalom Rav.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
My God, guard my speech from evil and my lips from deception. I will hold my tongue, I will practice humility. On page 62, in the middle of the page, we read together, May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, Adonai, my rock and my redeemer. May the one who makes peace in the high heavens make peace for us, for all Israel and all who inhabit the earth. And together we say, Amen. I also add, may those who struggle find peace. At this time, we think of those in our community who need peace, who need healing, and I invite you to say their names aloud. To these names, we add Daniel Bernard Rosen, Jackie Spear, and Carol Malloy. The Mishabera can be found in the handout.
I think it is on 253.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. I apologize. It's on page 253. $253. At this point, I would invite you to close your Sidurim, and I would like to welcome up Jerry Appel to share with us some divine inspiration.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. I am Jerry Appel, also known as Yehuda Hersh and Shlomo. The last time I did this, it was about why I had so many names. Tonight's lesson will also be about me as well. I began teaching 33 years ago, which was an embarkation on my latest career. Which number that was? Well, I've lost count. Besides, it would not be the last stop. First, some background information. Growing up in Brooklyn in the 1950s made me a child of the melting pot concept. This is based on the idea that everyone in this country comes from somewhere else with their unique cultural baggage, and that baggage was to be mixed in one great pot, and the delicious cultural stew would be served. The serving spoon and bowls were made of American English to fulfill the original national motto, E pluribus unum, from many, one nation. Teaching in El Paso, 4 decades after my birth, was not the melting pot, because our society had moved evolved to the salad bowl approach. Unlike Brooklyn, when I arrived in this biggest city on the border with Mexico 30 years later, El Paso is a bilingual city with unfettered cross-border traffic. I did not get that concept for years. Not until I became a teacher did I really have to face this personal incongruity of the melting pot versus the salad bowl. As a child of the melting pot, we found it easy to discard the language of our ancestors, for we had little or no desire to return to what we left when all our parents and grandparents told us were horror stories about the old country. Immigrants were reinventing themselves with new names and learning a new language. We, the first generation born in the USA, looked askance at those that did not speak English. Two of those languages to be discarded in my house were Yiddish and Hebrew. Neither my parents nor Hebrew school rabbi made any real effort to teach us either traditional language as a medium for daily discourse. Boy, was it different in El Paso when I moved here in 1979. A town right on the border with Mexico, in a culture where folks crossed the Rio Grande, I used to say Rio Grande River, almost as if there was no border. There were stories of teens sneaking out of their houses at night, crossing the border to drink in Juarez and attend nightclubs, and then recross at dawn to unsuspecting parents. Everyone seemed to know enough Espanol to do this, and none of these locals thought it was beneath them. Whoa. As a new classroom teacher, this reality is daunting. My classroom is full of students that see little need to develop any more skill at either English or Spanish than at BICS level, which is teacherese for basic interpersonal communication skills. Meanwhile, I am supposed to bring them up to CALP, which stands for Cognitive Academic Language Proficiency. Observing my teenage students, I see that most prominently display a crucifix. Some teachers have one in their classroom, and my first school district is promoting giving out Bibles on campus. Yet when I try to activate biblical knowledge in the classroom, I find them totally ignorant of foundational stories that authors are alluding to. What to do? How do I use the obviously pervasive religion without crossing the line? At the time, the Texas teaching model is to have a new goal or aim every class day, which turns out to be a recipe for failure. We don't say the Shema several times a day for no reason. It takes me a year or two, but I realize that I have to develop habits, learning habits, and I have to find some way to teach the foundational biblical stories without violating the idea of the separation of church and state. Developing the learning habits turns out to be the easy part, but I am still stuck on the Bible background stuff. About 10 years after I started teaching, I learned from my colleagues the Weiser and Fonseca approach. Yes, that Mrs. Weiser. These two veteran advanced placement teachers are dealing with the same issue. So they develop a curriculum to teach the Bible as literature. Aha. I've now switched careers again, and then I returned to teaching. And I am now teaching in a community that is even more Spanish dominant and impoverished than Canutillo or near the oil refineries. Some of my students tell me that they have to hate me because I killed Jesus. Despite that barrier, I am determined to find a way to teach my students how to learn English, and better yet, why they need to do that. It is when I focus on the why that I find the inspiration and solution. I cannot say exactly why I found this nugget, but as I was sitting in another inane in-service about differentiated instruction techniques, we were asked to develop a lesson topic. I found the answer in teaching a myth, which I was covering at the time in class, and took the risk of presenting the Bible as a myth. There it was, buried in a myth or Bible story, the Tower of Babel. Teaching this Bible story as a myth, and it is a prototypical myth, would allow me to activate any students with prior knowledge of Noah and the flood, the covenant, and rainbows. We could then move to the Tower of Babel. Vayomer Adonai hein am echad v'safa achat l'chulam v'zeh. Kachilam ma'asot v'ato lo yobotzer mechem mikol asher yozmu la'asot. Now the whole earth had one language and the same words, And as people migrated from the east, they found a plain in the land of Shinar and settled there. And they said to one another, "Come, let us make bricks and burn them thoroughly." And they had brick for stone and bitumen for mortar. Then they said, "Come, let us build ourselves a city and a tower with its top in the heavens, and let us make a name for ourselves, lest we be dispersed over the face of the whole earth." And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the children of man had built. And the Lord said, "Behold, they are one people, and they have all one language. And this is only the beginning of what they will do. And nothing that they propose to do will now be impossible for them." By focusing on Genesis chapter 11, verse 6, I was able to find my motivation for my students to understand the power of standard language and give them, and me, a Jewish reason to learn the power of the bane of all language students, grammar. Then, by relating the plot issue of the flood story and divine conundrum, my students were able to see the value of understanding and following plot lines. Sometimes it is not what happens, but it is what doesn't. Once I started using the Tower of Babel, a miracle happened, because for my final decade of teaching, I never heard a student ask the question, "Why do we have to learn grammar?" There's even more to be said about not hearing things. I can't tell you how many times I'd read or heard Genesis chapter 11 during the first 3 decades of my life growing up in an Orthodox household. At least once a year until I stopped being Orthodox, and the Tower of Babel story is not one of the most popular, like Passover or the binding of Isaac or the exile of Joseph, etc. All of these popular biblical episodes are the grist for one literary allusion after another. By taking that break from the Torah cycle, I had a chance to return and rediscover. The Quran calls us the people of the book, and it is a book worth reading, even the unpopular parts, for they can be pathfinders for all of us, as it was for me. Shabbat Shalom.
We continue on page 282, and I invite you to rise for 5. I apologize. We are on page 5, and I still invite you to rise for a Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho le'ahava uvratzon hinhilanu. Zikaron lema'aseh bereshit, ki hu yom tehillah lemikra'e kodesh, zecher litziyat mitzrayim, ki banu v'charta yotanu ki zavashta mikol ha'amim, v'sharat koshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinhaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashat. Amen. L'chaim.
Now we can turn to page 282 for Aleinu.
Aleinu leshabeach ladon ha'chol, latei gedula liosei bereshit, shelo asanu k'nei ha'ratzot, elo osavanu k'mishpechot ha'adama, shelo samchel k'nukahem, v'no aleinu k'chol ha'onah. V'anachnu korim u'mishtachanim u'modim lifnei Melech
Please be seated. When I die, give what's left of me away to children and old men that wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for the brother walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give them what you need to give me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. Look for me in the people I've known or loved, and if you cannot give me away, at least let me live in your eyes and not in your mind. You can love me best by letting hands touch hands, by letting go of children that need to be free. Love doesn't die, people do. So when all that's left of me is love, give me away. We think of those loved ones who have passed in recent times and in the years past. If there is anybody who you are thinking about and would like to say their name, I invite you to do so. Thank you.
Connie Alderman. Doris Clark.
Thank you. To these names, we add Samuel Fletcher, Fleischer, Edmund Given, Jerome Glass, Doris Gluck, Amelia Goodman, Aaron Goodman, Albert B. Horwitz, Bernice Isaac, Jess A. Joseph, Martha Goodman Katz, Florine Klein, Henrietta Etta Elfman Coburn, Henry Lavis, Gail Gluck Livington, Lillian Aronson, Harry Barnett, Herman Beck, Ida Levy Bendelin, Max Blecker, Pauline Blumenthal, Miriam Borshaw, Harry Brand, Howard Burnham, David Cohen, Raymond Cohen, David Cohen, Vivian Korn, Gloria Crone, David B. Vertel, Abel Levy, Irma Ullman Levy, Wolf Leikowitz, Ronald Marks, Mildred F. Mirop, Barbara Jean Meyer, Elda Perez Ochoa, Rosalie Riven, Alexander Schechner, Gertrude Berger Schweider, Bill Shield, Bernard Spitz, Sam Weiss, Johanna Elfman-Tusch, Fernando Aristoteles Yates, Joseph Sidney Yoack. If I said a name incorrectly, I invite you to please correct me. We continue on page 294 with Kaddish. Yit Gadal v'yit Gadash Shemei Rabbah, Rama Divra Hirut. May their memories be for blessing. Zikranandi Rahav.
Israel.
Please be seated. We welcome Rebecca up to share some announcements with us.
Thank you. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. And thank you to Mindy and Sebastian for beautiful service this evening. And to the Shir Chadash Choir and Aina, thank you for your piano playing. And thank you to Jerry Appel, wonderful. Your words that you shared with us were awesome. I'd like to thank our Shabbat sponsors for this weekend. We have Bob and Elaine Krasny in honor of their 65th wedding anniversary, Mazel Tov. Rita, Jerry, and Ernie Gluck in memory of Doris Gluck and Gal Levinton. Brian and Valerie Gluck in memory of Doris Gluck and Gal Levinton. Bonnie Colton in honor of Bob and Elaine Krasny's wedding anniversary. And Alan and Rebecca Krasny also in honor of Bob and Elaine Krasny's wedding anniversary. Bonnie Colton in memory of Edmund Given. Sam Simon, Evelyn Fox, Sue Owens-Pickens in memory of Etta Corbin and Johanna Tush. Gloria Lavis in memory of Henry Lavis. Keith and Becky Myers in memory of Barbara Myers. And Chuck and Peggy Coven in memory of Sam Weiss. Just a couple of things coming up for this summer that we still have. We still have the Jewish food sale going on from our festival. Please contact the temple for more information. I think it was frozen, so I think it's okay. And save the date for next Friday, Shabbat dinner barbecue, June 30th, following the service. Please follow the email to RSVP if you'd like to attend that. Hadassah is hosting a hybrid event on Sunday, June 25th from 2 to 4 p.m. They're going to be talking about anti-Semitism without fear. So please see the email if you'd like to register or more information. And finally, the Society for Crypto-Judaic Studies is holding its 33rd annual conference here in El Paso. That's August 13th to the 15th. Please see the email for more info and to register. Thank you.
Thank you to Luann Francis for greeting us.
Oh yes, Luann, sorry.
We conclude on page 344 in the middle of the page with the Shir Hadash. Please rise. As we go on our way, may we be guided in peace. May we be blessed with health and joy. May this be our blessing. Amen.
Amen.
Shabbat Shalom. We'll continue together with Kiddush and Motzi and some alcohol.
Last week, I have it. Yeah, it was just real quick.